A company or a person who is just doing it because it's the flavor of the month and they see everyone else putting a pride flag up and they put a pride flag up and everybody's, what on earth is this company or person doing? Because everyone knows that that person is absolutely not supportive of, and insert any cause here, right? Like clearly we're talking through the LGBTQ lens. When Target comes out with a line of things and then they get a backlash from people and then they're like, oops, sorry, we changed our mind, we're going to take it back. If you're going to come out and support the community, you have to defend your position on that support. You can't just go running and hiding the second someone says, oh, hey, is that really what you want to be doing? Or you're going to hell because you support the LGBTQ community. As a company, you have to stand your ground. You have to say, we made this commitment to display a pride flag because we support our customers who are, we support our employees who are, we support the community at large. You have to stand by that and not just go running and hiding. I think that's where a lot of companies really miss the mark.
So very excited to have my friend Jenn here. Thank you so much for joining us to celebrate Pride Month with us. I don't know how fast time has gone by. I'm curious, so many things to dive into, but maybe perhaps bring us back to the beginning. You've done so many things and continue to do so many things. What did you envision you wanted to do when you were a child? And do you remember your first dream of what you wanted to do and who you wanted to become?
I love this question because I've had time to reflect on how everything might interconnect. But if I go back to childhood, I wanted to be Dear Abby. So for those that are not familiar with Dear Abby, it was an advice column in the newspaper. My undergrad was communications because this kind of encompasses all the things that I'm moderately interested in. And then my graduate degree ended up being in marketing communications. What's interesting is that my whole Dear Abby dream, I started a blog in 2012 and it started off called LGBTQ Questions from a Friend. It was me giving advice to one specific friend of mine who's a nurse practitioner who kept asking me healthcare related questions about how to treat her LGBTQ patients to make sure that she was approaching it in a respectful way and making sure that she was following all the best practices. I do not come from a healthcare background, so I had absolutely no business. I just happened to be the one queer person that she knew, and she knew that she could ask these questions to. So it's cool that it came full circle to some degree where the blog became like my own personal Dear Abby for at least, I want to say 5 or 6 years. I had that weekly blog going.
Let's go to now your work chapters, because then bringing on that, you've been very passionate, devoted to continue to grow, but you've had some challenges that was unfortunate. Tell me a little bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at them as challenges because I really believe, and I know it's such a cliche phrase, but I really believe that everything happens for a reason. And whatever path we are on, regardless of how easy or how difficult it is, we're on that path for some particular purpose. When I graduated college, I got a job as a marketing coordinator for a large insurance company. I immediately went into a homophobic work environment. Like straight out, day 2 of working there, the director that was above me said that I looked like the captain of the softball team Dyke. Like literally those words she said in earshot of me.
Okay.
And I was working in retail before. What a luxury from a expression standpoint of who you are. Retail, no one cared. No one cared who you dated, what you were up to, what extracurricular activities you were involved in. No one cared. Whereas going into an office environment where everyone was so physically tightly packed next to each other, everyone's business is everyone's business. So what that did though is that it forced me to have a lived experience of a really toxic work environment, which I think makes it that I would never create that type of environment for anyone around me. But on the other side of it, I started a consulting business. The consulting business focus was if you want to attract LGBTQ customers or clients or employees or whomever it has to be, your message has to be authentic and aligned. So you cannot be saying, hey, we're amazing for the community, come do business with us, and then be calling your marketing person a dyke behind the scenes, because that's what this company did. And so I think what's beautiful about this experience is that it allowed me to really empathize and relate with the clients that I worked with for so long. I could say, just because you're outwardly saying this thing, and we're in June, right? June is where every company comes out of nowhere and they're throwing rainbows on all of their things. And it's like, yes, but is it safe for your employees to be themselves in your workplace? Because if it's not, then you should absolutely not be putting pride flags on anything that you're up to. So it gave me like a really good balance and perspective to see from both sides of the table.
No, thank you for sharing that. This is part of the reason why I wanted to start doing these interviews, highlighting each month, because I felt like going back to the theme of whole marketing communication celebrations, it taught me that, wait, I also feel like I need to like proactively make sure I'm finding people from different communities to learn, educate myself, unlearn misinformation. And it felt mixed feelings when you would see these nice marketing materials. Well, do you actually know somebody of that background?